Angora. The idea of Angora is actually a bit invented thing for our space. In Ukraine there is a word Maidan, which we use to describe a space where certain activities take place, and it's a Turkic word, so historically it meant place where the goods which people received after the siege were divided among the warriors on the place of the trade exchange. So actually it's historically it's a normal situation where what Greeks used to call Agora in the medieval or European situation was called a market space, where the natural exchange happened. So in Ukrainian, when we say Maidan, we say about the space of some common activities can happen, but also there is word Maidanchik, which means the space for the children activities, which usually we call a playground, children playground. So the idea behind the adult playground, or Maidanchik для взрослых, is actually similar. We want to create a space where you can practice certain possibility of communication, but then also to balance this communication and then to realize that you're not alone, or at least that by doing something you make the other thing to move. So this Agora, which Bauman describes as a place of meeting point between ecclesia and oikos, is something what we created by this adult playground, or these balances for people. Apparently the system which practices power in the city and which sits on the market is somehow selling public space to businesses, to investors, and they don't want this balancer or this playground for adults to stay on the market square. Therefore it's here. This is the place near the gallery and near the monastery, and they don't care if we stay here. So the real Agora is not only, as Bauman says, in other communication spheres like Facebook or YouTube, but it's also here on not completely controlled places in the city where nobody cares of what I'm doing. So actually I'm on Agora, but nobody listens. I'm alone. Though if you go to Market Square and you talk, you're alone either. Nobody listens. So how it works when you talk? Why power should hear you if they just selling things or places and spaces? So the balancer is here. Tomorrow it will move to the museum on Lonsko, which is actually a museum in the former prison, and we hope that the people will find a place for game and thought in this museum, and the balance as the playground will function as moving agora. So actually this playground is a kind of metaphor of adult agora, but apparently it can work, because we go with this playground around the city. People want to use it. They use it for citing drama, for talking, for discussing sacred art, or just to have it for fun. So I think in an era of fluid modernity, the moving agora, it's really good point.